Hey guys, so today's video I decided to do a comparison between drugstore and high-end brow products. Battle of the brow, if you will. I just thought that this would be a fun way to do an eyebrow tutorial kind of thing because a lot of you guys have been asking for a brow tutorial, so I hope you guys like it. So the two brands I'm going to be comparing today are Anastasia Beverly Hills, which most of you know is a high-end brand, and then I'm going to be comparing it with NYX, which is a affordable drugstore brand. So I decided to pick up two products from each brand, one of them being like an eyebrow pencil and one being like a dip brow pomade type thing. I'm going to go ahead and compare the prices for you guys just so you get an idea of what you're going to be spending and what you're going to be saving between the two brands. Starting with high-end, the dip brow is $18 and the brow wiz is $21. So if you use them as a duo like I do, then that is going to be $39 for the high-end. And for the drugstore, the NYX Cosmetics Eyebrow Gel, this is $6.99. And then also from NYX, the Micro Brow Pencil, this is $9.99. So altogether, these are, one second, let me look at my calculator, $16.98 for the drugstore, which is a $22.02 comparison. So, yeah. I want to see which product won this battle of the brows, then just keep watching. So I'm going to start with my drugstore brow. I'm going to use this one as my drugstore. This one's fleeker, so I thought I would give the drugstore one a bit of a head start with the fleeker brow, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to start out with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. So it looks like this. It's just like a little retractable. It's really nice. I don't really like the pencils because it's not the best to sharpen it. You can't really get a fine point, which is really important for brows. And then the other side has a spoolie, so that's always helpful. Just a little advice before we get into this. I always like to run a Q-tip through my brows if I already have my face makeup and stuff, because you want to make sure that there's no foundation or any kind of product in your brows because it just won't go on as smoothly. And also make sure you spoolie your brows the way you want them to lay before going in with any product. We're going to start by filling the bottom of our brow, but we are going to stop right here, which is about right where your pupil is. And you want to do that because this part of your brow should be as natural as possible. So you do not want to go in with like a dip brow or anything like that over there because you do not want this to be harsh at all. So we're just going to lightly go under our brow and stop right about there. So now that we have the outline of the front of our brow, we are going to go in and make little hair-like strokes just going up to make it look nice and natural and fluffy. And then I'm going to just spoolie through that. Helps to blend it out and just make it look more natural. Seriously though, the NYX brow pencil went on so smoothly. It's so pigmented and I love the application of it. It was really easy and the little tip of it was really small, so it made it very easy. I'm impressed. So now we are going to take our NYX, it's called Eyebrow Gel. This is like pretty much a pomade to me. It reminds me a lot of the dip brow. So this one's just like a liquid form pretty much. So I use the shade Brunette. I do have black hair, but I do not buy the black one because that's just too darn dark for me. So I just squirted out a tiny little dot and I'm going to be using my M160 for this. This is from Morphe This is my favorite eye brush. You can see how small it is, which really helps. I start where I left off with the brow pencil, and I just, again, outline the bottom of the brow first. And then I like to curve it up, just right there, and then kind of curve it downwards just like that. And as you can see, I extended the tail quite a bit since my brows are not the best shape. We are going to do the same exact thing to the top of the brow. So I started about right here. And as you can see, I'm extending my arch just like that, and then curving it down. Now I have the outline of my brow, so I'm going to switch over to a new brush by Morphe, and this is the M158. This is just a bit bigger, so it's easier to actually fill in. So I'm just going to take that pomade and just fill in where we outlined. I like to just take it in strokes, that way it looks a little bit more natural. And then I'm just gonna fill in a bit more up here because it's a little bit too elevated over there. So I'm just gonna like even that out. You'll be able to tell these kind of things, what you need to do once it's like all put together and stuff. Okay guys, so now that we have our brow all filled in, it's looking nice and boxy, so we're gonna fix that. So what I do is I take a foundation and I clean up my brows with that. A concealer works, but you should probably like try to match it more to your skin, like using a foundation, just so you don't have to blend it in with your skin color, if that makes sense. But anyways, you just take a brush like this. Mine is from Morphe, and the name actually wore off, but any flat little brush like this will work. So what I like to do with this is I like to round out the brow a bit more, make it look a little bit more natural and a little less boxy. So I just go over pretty much the whole brow. It gives me like a better idea of how I want it. So as you can see, I'm kind of just rounding it out. Now I'm going to just blend that into my foundation. Make sure it looks nice and smooth, like nothing ever happened. Then we are going to do the same thing to the underbrow. So moving on to the high-end brow, I'm just gonna spoolie my brows like always to get this process going. Okay, so now I'm going to fill in the front portion of my eyebrows with the eyebrow pencil, the brow is. Stop right about there. Little hair-like strokes. Spoolie through those brows, make them nice and natural. So moving on to the dip brow, this is in the shade medium brown, and again, this is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. So we are just going to do the same thing. We're going to start by outlining the bottom of our brow and just extending the tail. Now we are going to do the same thing to the top of our brow, again starting about halfway through, just so it's not harsh. So as you can see right there, I'm just extending that arch and then curving it down. And of course now we're just going to fill that in. so now that I have got my brows on, I've gathered my thoughts, and let's have a little chat about the products. So if I had to choose between the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz and the NYX Cosmetics Micro Brow Pencil, I'd probably have to go with the NYX because this is $11 cheaper and these run out so fast, like eyebrow pencils. So I'm just, you know, trying to save 11 buckaroonies every month. But they're both really, really great eyebrow pencils and I love them both, but I'd probably just go with NYX for this one. Comparing the Dip Brow from Anastasia and the NYX Cosmetics Eyebrow Gel, I'm gonna have to go with the Dip Brow. Both of these are really good, but what I noticed is with the NYX one, it just didn't go on as smoothly as the Dip Brow. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it just looks a bit more jagged and my brow feels like really hard and stiff, which I mean isn't a bad thing if you want your brows to stay on all day, like we all do obviously. But I just feel like this one looks a little bit more natural and this one's just a little bit more like rough, and it went on a little bit more rough as well. So these are only $8 in the price range. So I would definitely just have to stick with the Dip Brow. I cannot get enough of the Dip Brow. I've been through like 3 of them and it's definitely by far my favorite eyebrow product and I love it. So it looks like both these brands tied in the battle of the brows because I liked one from NYX better and one from Anastasia better. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you try any of these products out, let me know how you like them and how it worked for you. And thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know down below what other videos you'd like me to film or anything like that. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!